Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I am going to be ranting a little bit about Delta Force. This will be the last of the Delta Force videos ever because I've actually uninstalled the game and I'm going to explain why that is. So we're going to take a look at today's gameplay, which is going to be very interesting nonetheless. Well, I went like 91-0 in the main battle tank on cracked. Um, so it was actually a good game. It was one of my last games actually. So the reason why I quit the game is not because I got shat on. Not really. Not only. But it was actually one of my last games despite being a pretty good one. So I'm going to make several points about why I think Delta Force has a lot of potential, but a lot of that potential is wasted and nothing is going to improve about this like ever, which is the reason why I've decided to give up on the game. There are several points. The first point I'm going to make is about the community and playing with friends. So as far as I'm concerned, I used to be a Battlefield player, as you might know, from the days of Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4. Those were the days where I used to play like a lot of Battlefield, a lot of competitive Battlefield, 8v8 Conquest. I also used to play a lot of public servers. I had over 1,300 hours in pub servers in Battlefield 4, and I took part in many competitions and tournaments. It was actually a really fun time, and the reason why I could spend that much time in Battlefield 3 and 4 is because there was a community to back it up. And that's the first point I'm going to make about Delta Force. There is no community. Like, where's the community? Where is it? Where? All I see is just matchmaking. There is no, well, I mean, there is no text chat that I'm aware of, or at least I've never found it and I've never seen it anywhere. There's a voice chat, but the voice chat is constantly getting trolled by people talking shit, insulting each other in different languages, and overall just being assholes. So there's absolutely no point in ever using the voice chat. It's just a bad idea, honestly. And then, like I said, there is no text chat that I know of, so you can actually talk to people. Then it's kind of difficult to actually like squad up with people because you cannot actually connect with them. So even if you actually like get to play with a few people in your squad that are kind of useful and you actually enjoy playing with them, it's actually kind of difficult to even connect with them and, you know, add them as friend and actually like, you know, like get to know them as players and as people. Like the whole like human connection thing is lacking in this game. It's like the game is just about playing matchmaking, and when you're done playing your game of matchmaking, you just play another game of matchmaking. Another thing that bothers me is that at the end of every game, you are kicked out of the lobby and you have to start a new matchmaking lobby with different people. I find it really annoying that you don't get some kind of like map rotation on like the same kind of server where you could potentially play with the same people again. So like, if you have a squad of players that you enjoy playing with, because it can definitely happen, then you could like, you know, stay on the server until the next map, see if they're staying, then you can continue playing with those same people that you actually enjoy playing with. But instead of that, no. The game will throw you out at the end of the round, and then you have to start another round of matchmaking with a bunch of new randoms. And that's, honestly, it's just boring. Always playing with randoms every game and not actually getting to meet anyone at all it's it's I don't know. It's supposed to be a multiplayer experience. And what is a multiplayer experience? It's supposed to have you playing with other people, with and against other people. So yes, we're playing against other people, but when I play Delta Force, I never actually feel like I'm playing with someone. It's kind of like I feel like I'm playing a single player game where it's me versus the world. And sometimes I get a guy that helps me. Sometimes. And then I never see that guy again because anyway, I cannot easily communicate with him. That's one thing. And I cannot continue playing with him after the round. That's another thing because the whole like server is disbanded. That's completely dumb. And I don't know if they're actually planning on fixing that ever because this video right here is actually about 3 or 4 months old at this point. I've been waiting. I made it a while ago. I made this video a while ago, but I never actually came around to like, you know, doing the editing because I just couldn't be bothered. Couldn't care less about this game. But I finally decided to come around and do something with it so that I can delete the files from my hard drive forever and ever. So and focus on something else. So that's part one. Then part two of my rant here is gonna be about what is it gonna be about? The fact the game is fucking boring. That's what it's gonna be about because it's boring. It's always the same thing. It's super repetitive. Like it's actually like crazy how repetitive the game is. So and I'm saying that as a Battlefield player, and now I know that obviously while playing kind of Conquest or King of the Hill or whatever they want to call it, it's Conquest on the same 3 or 4 maps all the time. It's obviously it's gonna feel kind of repetitive after a while, right? But in Battlefield, I don't know really how to explain it. But you got those moments, you got those Battlefield moments. Every game would kind of feel similar, but there would be a few differences that made Battlefield stand out from the competition. But in Delta Force, you don't get those Delta Force moments. Every game feels the same, but actually the same, with exactly the same empty areas where nobody ever goes, and the same choke points that are, well, I mean, you can see it here on Cracked. Those choke points are usually like, well, grenade fests and rocket launcher fests, and it's really not fun because it's the same thing all the time, with just people camping on the same exact flags at the same exact spots, just spamming grenades, spamming rockets, spamming what the fuck ever, and it's like that every time. And I mean, I know that in Battlefield there's also maps where there's a lot of choke points that are always full of people spamming shit, especially on maps like Operation Locker or Operation Metro. And I know those maps were very popular among the community. They were never popular as far as I'm concerned, but having choke points is fine. The problem with Delta Force is that there's never anything that actually like changes in any way whatsoever. It's the same flags that are usually completely ignored because they're placed so awkwardly that nobody cares about them. And then it's the same flags that are constantly being, well, attacked from all angles with like 10,000 people camping on them and another 10,000 people trying to attack them for about 30 minutes in a row every single game. And then we're gonna add on to that the way the vehicles work in this game, how like one-dimensional they are, as we can see from my tank gameplay right now. Like for example, the whole active protection thing. At first I didn't want to use it because I thought it was not fun to use. I decided to use it simply because it's OP, but I still don't like using it. And that's the whole thing. It's really one-dimensional. In Battlefield 4, I use active protection all the time. You had to time it well. If you did not time it well, it wouldn't work. In Delta Force, you press a button and for about 7 or 8 seconds, nothing can hit you. It's very, it's like, you have active protection up? Okay, nobody can kill you. You can just rush into 10,000 people, you can shoot everyone, and then after 8 seconds, you retreat for 20 seconds. For those 20 seconds, you better not fight because you're a sitting duck and you're gonna die. After 20 seconds, you just go back in and you use your active protection again and you're invincible for 8 seconds. And then you just retreat for about 20 seconds. And then you just go back in for 8 seconds. And you retreat and you go back in and you retreat, you go back in. And that's actually fuck me. Like, how is that supposed to be a fun, engaging gameplay? It's not. So yeah, that's my thing. The game is boring. The game is boring. The game is bugged. The game is glitched. It's ridden with bugs. Like sometimes you get hit in such weird ways, at such weird angles. You get mobility hits that are supposed to go away but they don't. Like my tank a few times in this game when I repaired it to 100% but it was still disabled. And sometimes I don't even repair it to 100% and it's not disabled anymore. Go figure. How is that supposed to work? Is that a bug? Is it broken? Is it supposed to be random? If it's supposed to be random, it's honestly a shitty decision. So I don't know. Maybe it's broken. Maybe it's not broken anymore now 4 months later after making this video. Or maybe it's actually intended to be that way, intended to be kind of random, in which case it's completely stupid. It's like the shittiest decision I've ever seen in a long time in terms of, well, you know, gameplay wise. So yeah, the game is boring in the long run, and it's ridden with bugs and glitches. And then that brings me to the third point as to why the game is boring. Another reason why it's boring, it's because it's ridden with hackers. And you know what? Hackers are not such a big problem as far as I'm concerned because I'm driving a tank. So that kind of keeps me safe from hackers that are playing infantry. They can't really kill me, even with aimbots or wall hacks. Like, it doesn't really matter, right? But even then, that makes the game unfun to play for others and for me too. Because let's be honest, sometimes hackers will use vehicles, and I've had cases of like hackers shooting me across the map with a tank shell that is supposed to drop like crazy. We're talking AP shell or HE shell, not even sabot shell, but they actually shoot me from across the map. Like right now we're playing on cracked. I'm inside of the city, and you'll have a guy sitting behind Delta flag, behind D flag, shooting me from across the map, from behind the buildings, and hitting me 3 times in a row with the tank shell. And surprisingly, that's okay, you know. It's like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be, right? Like, no. And then like sometimes I'll be at point blank, I'll be shooting them at point blank, it won't even register, while they're shooting me from across the map, and they kill me in 3 shots without me being even able to respond. And that's not fun. It's happened quite a few times on this map and on other maps where you're supposed to have cover, but I guess they don't care about cover because they're hackers, right? So honestly, the whole like hacker situation is also kind of getting out of hand, or at least it was getting out of hand 4 months ago. Again, I don't know if they've done anything about it, and I couldn't care less because I am not going back to this game to see what it's like now. I honestly couldn't care less. Maybe they've made improvements, maybe not, because let's be honest, some of the other YouTubers that I follow, I haven't seen much from them as far as Delta Force is concerned. They have mostly all quit playing this game altogether, probably for about the same reasons as I do, right? So I don't know if it's improved at all in any way whatsoever, and I don't care to even download the game again and log in and check and see for myself. I don't care. It's just it's too late. It's too late. Um, and another reason why the game is boring, except for being repetitive, except for being bug ridden, except for being full of cheaters, there's another reason for which it's boring. It's the balance. The balance is so completely retarded in this game. Like, actually, it is retarded. Like, tanks are overpowered. Let's be honest, tanks are pretty overpowered. But then you know what's even more overpowered than tanks? Helicopters. Helicopters are it's pretty funny, honestly. Because on, well, most maps that have tanks have helicopters. And most people who play this game are not good and they don't know how to fly a helicopter properly. So usually it's not too much of a problem. But if you get that one guy who knows how to fly a chopper, maybe he flew in Battlefield 4, I don't know, maybe. They're not actually difficult to fly really. I've flown a few times, they're actually quite easy. But if you've got one sweaty pants in the helicopter on the enemy team, you are not going to be touching anything in the entire game, because the helicopter is going to ruin your life and no one's gonna do shit about it. And you know why? Because there's no counter to helicopters. There's no counter. The only counter to helicopters is the mobile AA. But the mobile AA is actually surprisingly bad, and it's actually bad. The mobile AA, you would expect it would be able to kind of like shred helicopters from across the map. That's what mobile AAs normally do. In Battlefield 4, that's what they always did. In this game, if you fly right over it, yes, it'll do damage. Thanks fuck. But if you're flying on the other side of the map, basically the mobile AA cannot hit you. They can get a few lucky shots in, maybe do a little bit of damage, but they cannot do anything about you. All you have to do is to use your self-repair ability, repair back to 100%, rinse and repeat. There are no jets in this game. In Battlefield, jets were usually a counter to helicopters, because jets could easily kill helicopters, but helicopters couldn't really deal with jets. They had to rely on their own team's jets to deal with the enemy team's jets, right? In this game, there are no jets, so no counter to helicopters. In this game, the mobile AAs are stupidly bad, so again, no counter to helicopters. And in this game, the helicopters are doing a shitload of damage to ground vehicles. They reload very fast. They basically have unlimited ammo, and of course they have the ability to self-repair. That means helicopters are pretty broken, and that's not fun when you're driving a tank and you keep getting spammed by the helicopter, which is not the case in this round. Like I said, vehicles are mostly ignored by Delta Force players, but when they're not ignored, when people are actually using the vehicles like they're supposed to be used, well, you're just not going to play the game. You're a tank driver, you're just not going to play the game at all. So when that situation arises, what I have to do is I actually have to be the helicopter pilot on my team to deal with the enemy team's helicopter. And I don't like doing that. That's not what I want to do. I want to drive a tank. I don't want to fly a helicopter just because nobody else is going to do it properly. So, I don't know. It's garbage. Yeah, it's garbage. And then, I'm being a little bit disingenuous here, because the game has redeeming qualities. I mean, it's a cheap copy of Battlefield. It's a cheap, like, Battlefield 2142 slash Battlefield 4 copy. Battlefield 4 air quotes, you know, because, well, air quotes because it's not really, like Battlefield 4, you know, it's mostly like a copy of Battlefield 2142, 2021. What am I saying? 2042? Bruh. 2042. It's basically a 2042 copy with some elements from Battlefield 4, but it's a cheap copy. It's just like, I don't know. It's like someone tried to replicate Battlefield 2042/4, but they didn't really know what made Battlefield good. Like they didn't actually understand what made Battlefield so special and different from the other shooters. So they were not able to replicate that. And that's the problem. The reason why Delta Force is not a bad game, it's a mediocre game. It's not bad, it's not good, it's mediocre. It's playable if you got nothing else to play and you're bored. And that's about it. That's about it. So that's the reason why I won't be playing any more Delta Force for ever, probably. I don't think I'll ever get a reason to come back to this game. I mean, honestly, they'd have to be shitting pearls to make me come back to this game. There's so many things that would need to change. They would need to change the core soul of the game. But I'm talking about a soul that the game doesn't even have. I think that's the problem. What I'm talking about about the Delta Force devs not understanding what made Battlefield special when they tried to replicate the Battlefield formula. The problem is Battlefield always had a soul. This game is soulless. And I don't think I can say anything more than that at this point. So that's it for today. That's how I'm going to end this video. And I am going to let you guys enjoy the rest of my last tank gameplay, because that'll be the last one, and that's about it. So thank you for watching, and I will see you all in the next video, which will not be about Delta Force. It'll be about something else. So for now, bye.